Deceive.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into Studio Day Jeffrey. It is Jeffrey time, and today we have a mock draft roundup, which I want to say this about mock drafts, Kevin Hageland and others. If you don't like mock drafts, you hate fun. That's what I think. Mock drafts are fun. We're just having fun. Can't worry about it too much. Just have a good time. There's a couple of new ones that came out, and I want to say this about mock drafts. If you make a mock draft and you give the Cowboys either Xavier McKinney, the safety from Alabama, or Grant Delpit, the safety from LSU, you bore me. I'm done. I've moved on past those. Have some fun. Do something original, which is why the one that I'm going to focus on today is Bucky Brooks Mock Draft, former NFL scout. He's on NFL Network, and he's got a nice podcast with Daniel Jeremiah that sometimes I listen to go to sleep. I'm not saying it's boring. I'm saying I listen to podcasts while I'm going to sleep. Now, in Sports Illustrated, we had a mock draft where at number 17, the Dallas Cowboys select C.J. Henderson, cornerback, Florida. Now, since that happened, I do have to scroll down and make sure that like Henry Ruggs wasn't available, and he wasn't. So I'll accept your mock draft. Let me run down the top 16 to see if he screwed it up anywhere. Joe Burrow, Chase Young, Tua, Isaiah Simmons, Jeffrey Okudah, Justin Herbert, Jedrick Wills, Derek Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Mekhi Becton, Javon Kinlaw, Jerry Jeudy, Andrew Thomas, Tristan Wirfs, Henry Ruggs, Kayvon Chason. This is really worst case scenario for the Cowboys, where you get to 17 and you really will be looking at probably your secondary guys or A.J. Epinesa, the Iowa defensive end. And to me, that's worst case scenario. I would not want to run into that scenario because that's where people are going to be picking the dang safeties. And you don't want those safeties at 17. I'm just telling you. You don't want those safeties at 17. If you're going to pick one of those safeties, you want to move down. But he gave him C.J. Henderson, the cornerback out of Florida, which that might be my pick there too. It's time for an important announcement. Brian Broaddus was right. I flipped C.J. Henderson and Christian Fulton. C.J. Henderson's my new second corner. He ain't real interested in tackling, but God, the way he moves in coverage. C.J. Henderson's a good player, but you're supposed to trade down there, buddy. Everybody knows that. Now, we move on to the Bucky Brooks Mock Draft 2.0. Let's start at the top. Let's see if Bucky screws it up. Number 1, Joe Burrow to Cincy. Number 2, Chase Young to Washington. Number 3, Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson to Detroit. Number 4, the Giants take offensive tackle Jedrick Wills out of Alabama. Number 5, Tua to the Miami Dolphins. Okay, so I've gotten through the top 5, and I still got Derek Brown and Jeffrey Okudah on the board. Number 6, Justin Herbert goes to the Chargers. Number 7, Derek Brown to the Carolina Panthers. Number 8, Tristan Wirfs, the offensive tackle out of Iowa, to the Cardinals. Oh, why are we trying to protect Kyler? Just give him more people to throw to. Why are you changing the rules here, Cardinals? You know you guys don't care about offensive line. Just tell Kyler to make it work. Okudah makes it to number 9 to the Jaguars. That works out really well to get one of the best cornerback prospects I've ever watched to take that spot left open by Jalen Ramsey. That'll work. At number 10, the Cleveland Browns take offensive tackle out of Georgia, Andrew Thomas. At 11, Mekhi Becton, the giant offensive tackle from Louisville, gets to go protect Sam Darnold. At number 12, the Raiders select Jordan Love, Utah State quarterback. This is good. This is something you need to know about Cowboy fans. You are cheering for Jordan Love to go in the top 16. You're cheering for Justin Herbert and Tua and, of course, Burrow. You're cheering for all 4 to go in the top 16 because that is how you get a guy to 17 that maybe you weren't expecting. You want the quarterbacks to go. You want the offensive tackles to go, which I think we already had all 4 of. Yep, okay, so all 4 of the best offensive tackle prospects are gone by 11. That's a Cowboys dream scenario. All the quarterbacks, you go Burrow, you go Herbert, you go Tua, you go Love. That makes 8 of the top 16 picks quarterbacks and offensive tackles, spots the Cowboys weren't going to pick. Now, I know some of you, me included, put 2 at 17 and see what I do. But that's not realistic. So you want that. You want all 8 of those spots to be filled by offensive tackles and quarterbacks, and for Bucky Brooks, that happens. You get to 13. Jerry Jeudy is the first receiver off the board to the Indianapolis Colts at 13. That's nice. That's nice. To get 13 picks into it, then you get 14, 15, you get 3 picks left. Maybe no other receiver will go. At 14, Javon Kinlaw. That one hurts. But it's okay. That's the Tampa Bay Bucks. At 15, C.J. Henderson, the Florida corner to the Broncos. At 16, Kayvon Chason, pass rusher out of LSU, goes to the Atlanta Falcons, which means at 17, we did it. We did it. We did it. I say we did it. I say we did it. Only one receiver went. So now, C.J. Henderson's gone. So I guess you could, if you're a crazy person, start talking about, all right, let's talk about the secondary guys. Okudah's gone and Henderson's gone, but you could go Fulton. You could go Delpit. You could go McKinney. You could go any of your corners that you like, Trevon Diggs or Jeff Gladney, or you could look at your board and say, who is the best player on this board? Who is the best player on this board? You look up at the top of it. You go, holy cow, we got a top 8 player on the board. And who is that? And Bucky Brooks has the stones to make the pick. With the 17th pick in Bucky Brooks Mock Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, Oklahoma. And we pop bottles, baby! Like bottles of beer, because they can't afford big, like actual liquor bottles that people want to drink. CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys at 17. He says you could let Amari walk as a free agent and replace him with a rugged wide receiver 1, boasting dynamic playmaking skills, or Dallas could re-up Cooper and add another explosive piece to the offensive puzzle. This is 40 burgers. This is the 40 burger strategy. I support the 40 burger strategy. Building the defense is going to be hard. It's going to be tough because of where they've committed all their money already and where they're about to. And, do I need a bunch of young players that can contribute on defense? I do. I need that. But is that my best path to victory? Or is my best path to victory to double and triple down and try to outscore people? I think that's the Cowboys' best chance right now. Take your good offense, make it awesome, and race people to 35, 40 points. Let's go. Let's get in a race. Because right now, if you're talking about, well, Dak needs a great defense. Cool. How are you going to build me a great defense? Because right now, under contract, you have a really good defensive end. That's it on the defensive line. You have an okay middle linebacker. You have a potentially good other linebacker who might have a neck problem. You have 0 proven quality starters at NFL corner, and you got a pretty decent free safety. How many spots are we trying to fill to make a great defense for Dak Prescott? Take CeeDee Lamb, take Henry Ruggs, drop the 40 burgers. That's the new strategy. I love it. And the rest of the first round for Bucky Brooks, Trevon Diggs to Miami, Kenneth Murray, linebacker Oklahoma, to Oakland, or Vegas, sorry. Patrick Queen to the Jaguars, linebacker from LSU. Henry Ruggs to the Eagles. A.J. Epinesa to the Bills. Xavier McKinney to the Patriots. Christian Fulton to the Saints. Grant Delpit to the Vikings. DeAndre Swift, Georgia running back, to the Dolphins. Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive end from Penn State, goes to the Seahawks. Zach Baun, linebacker, Wisconsin, to the Ravens. Austin Jackson, USC offensive tackle, to the Titans. Jacob Eason in the first round, the Washington quarterback, to Green Bay. Cameron Dantzler to San Francisco, my Mississippi State corner. And Marlon Davidson out of Auburn goes to the Chiefs. That's his top 32. Okay. My second note in today's video for you is about a tweet I saw this morning, and I'm just going to read you the tweet. This is Adam Schefter tweeting about the NFL CBA. Adam Schefter says, if ratified by majority of players, new deal would give them the highest percentage of revenues of any American professional sport, going to 48%, and eventually could climb higher than 48.5%, depending on media rights. That would mean more than $5 billion in new money to the players. Sounds awesome, right? That sounds awesome. Except it's not accurate. As Teron Armstead pointed out on the tweeter. He said, I don't believe that's accurate, Adam. NBA and NHL get 50% of revenue on their player-owner revenue split. So the owners just tell media people something. They report it as fact. That's why the owners win in the negotiation, because now you have Adam Schefter, who is sharing this with millions and millions and millions and millions and maybe billions, that, hey, if the players turn this down, they're turning down the biggest revenue split in pro sports, and it's not true. NBA, NHL get 50%. The NFL is trying to get them at 48 and 48 and a half, and then telling their biggest media voice, tell people that's the biggest number in American sports, and he goes, cool, without even looking it up. Players got to get out in front of this thing, man. You got to get out in front of this thing, players. Okay, now, I did that. Is there anything else? I've got my little scroll there. Mock draft roundup, did that. Media line for the owners again, did that. Mailbag. Get to the mailbag here. Let me see what the people want to talk about. CT Coleman says, give me Jordan Brooks in the third round. He instantly becomes the best linebacker on this team. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, that would be a good third-round pick. Jordan Brooks is a Texas Tech linebacker. He's a really good run player. He had 20 tackles for loss this year. Coverage is going to be the question mark, and coverage is super important in the NFL. But Jordan Brooks, for me, I believe is, hold on, let me go through it in my dome piece. Linebacker rankings, Isaiah Simmons, and then the three-pack of Patrick Queen and Zach Bond and Kenneth Murray and Akeem Davis-Gaither is 5. And if I'm not drawing a blank, he may be 6th. But yeah, Jordan Brooks probably get picked in the second or third round, the Tech linebacker. And I wouldn't be mad if you got him in the third, depending on what else you're going to do to fix the team. Let's see here. NFL draft guy 31. I'm good with Kayvon Chason playing strong linebacker in a 4-3 on base downs and then moving to right end and nickel and dime. Also gives more flex to move from 3-4 and 4-3 whenever you want. Yeah, Chason would be okay. It's tough. It's tough to trust outside of the number one pass rusher in this draft. It's hard to figure out who are the guys that are going to hit. And Chason might be a good one to bet on because of that athleticism and that ability to turn the corner. He might be the one that you want to bet on, and I'd love to have him on the Cowboys. If we have a need everywhere but quarterback, this is recency bias radio. If we have a need everywhere but quarterback, it doesn't make sense paying a quarterback when we need to rebuild anyway. Why stay mediocre with picks that aren't in the top 10 with Dak? We won't be able to draft any game changers until we let Dak go. The hard part is that it's the NFL. The Cowboys have won double-digit games multiple times with Dak. They just went 8-8 when all the advanced numbers say you probably should have won 10 games. And so the Cowboys are going to chase that. I think every NFL team at that point would chase that. But I also do want somebody thinking that in the room of the front office and saying, guys, how realistic is this? That our team that just went 8-8, we're going to be worse in terms of personnel. We're losing our starting 3 technique. We're losing our starting right D end. We're losing our best player in the secondary. We lost our starting strong safety. Right now, we don't have our number 1 receiver or our slot receiver. Our quarterback's not under contract. They got a ton of work to do roster building. And so I actually don't disagree that you could, and maybe the wisest thing to do would be to not blow it up. You can't blow it up because you do have some guys that are locked into big money deals, but to see which guys you could flip and try to add picks to try to rebuild that middle class of your team, to try to get that big production from guys who don't make a lot. Because look around at the Cowboys right now and the guys that are on rookie deals. How many are big contributors? Xavier Woods, Michael Gallup, Pollard? Is that it? The teams that are going to contend, their list of guys like that is 12 guys long. That's how you win. That's how you have the money available to pay all your top guys that you want to pay, because you're getting great production from other guys. Let me see. Rank who you would take. This is Matt S. AJ Epinesa, Kayvon Chason, Christian Fulton and Grant Delpit are available at 17. Trade down. I would trade down. I'm interested to see Epinesa, how he does at the combine. I'm interested to see how Chason does at his pro day because he's not going to work out at the combine. But that's the sort of players I expect to be picking from at 17. Trade down. Trade down into the mid-20s. Add a second or third round pick. Trade downs usually win in the NFL. People don't tell you that, but trade downs usually win in the NFL. Don't be afraid of it. Trade down. Get more darts. Throw you another dart at the board. I'll try to get to some of these other ones later, but time is of the essence today. I got to go record Trust the Tape with Brian Broaddus. So make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. Turn on the notifications. Don't miss a video. Make sure you check 1053thefan.com every day. And make sure you're subscribed to the Trust the Tape podcast. However you get your podcasts. I got to go see Broaddus about a draft. See a man about a horse. Man about a draft. I'll catch you guys on the radio. Oh, leave in the comments. Oh, I almost forgot. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Thank you.